Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and yesterday was my 38th birthday. So happy birthday to me. But to be honest, birthdays and Christmas are never a really happy time for me. And I don't actually know why. I've always had a good time on my birthdays and Christmas. A little bit too much, if I'm honest. Although this year I obviously stayed sober. But yeah, I don't know what comes over me on my birthdays and Christmas time, but yeah, it's just a time where I do sort of allow my mind and allow negativity in my mind to take over me a little bit. So in this video I want to talk about what I did last year on my birthday, because my behaviour was completely unacceptable, and I want to compare it to what I did this year, which was a lot less unacceptable. But before I get into that, I get loads and loads of messages from you guys that watch these videos, which I really appreciate. A lot of you are offering me advice, you know, with things that have helped you guys with your mental health, etc. And then on the other hand, I get some people messaging me just asking for ways that I can help them, you know, with advice and stuff. And listen, the way I see it is, you know, whatever mental health problems you have, you know, whether you've got a drug problem like I have or not, wherever you are in terms of your mental health, there's not one solution that fits all. And I think this is something that the medical profession get wrong. I say that having not actually ever gone to see a doctor about mental health and stuff, because, you know, just anecdotally from other people, I hear that basically they just want to decide what box they're going to put you in, you know, what name they're going to give your condition, and then they're ultimately going to fill your head full of pharmaceutical drugs. And I'm not interested in that. At the end of the day, I've decided to stop taking drugs, i.e. cocaine, i.e. alcohol, and all the other recreational drugs. So I'm not just going to replace those with some drugs that my doctor's going to give me just to keep the pharmaceutical companies rich. That's my opinion. I've got nothing against anyone who does go to the doctors. But, you know, all I'd say is, for anyone out there that does need, you know, a broad bit of advice in terms of improving your mental health, improving your life in general, the one thing that I can say that has really made the biggest difference is taking my health seriously. You know, I've been through loads of phases over the years where I have managed to stop taking drugs and then, you know, ended up going back on it. Right now I'm 141 days clean, which is the longest streak I've had for, I can't even remember how long, but, you know, this is so much different than any other attempt that I've made, you know, and it's because I'm just taking it more seriously. Like, my sobriety and ultimately my health has now basically become the most important thing in my life. I accept that everything else has to come after it. Now, if you haven't already seen the video I made where I basically explain my whole daily routine and every little thing that I do to keep myself healthy, you know, whether it be taking my vitamins and minerals, whether it be exercising every day, you know, eating healthily all the time, you know, there's loads of things that I do, like cold showers, walking around the block every morning. Like, I'm not saying that everyone should do every single one of those things, but for me, you know, staying on that path and following those steps every day is what's keeping me on track. But listen, if you're the kind of person that never ever exercises, just exercise every day. Like, do 10 press-ups a day and that's it. If you do no exercise at all, then just doing 10 press-ups every single day is going to benefit you massively. You know, if you're eating rubbish food, like 3 meals a day, just for 1 meal a day, just have a chicken salad or something. You know, it's all about making subtle changes that you can consistently do every day. It's not about, you know, for instance, it's not about me, you know, killing myself with my workout in the morning, you know, going for a run around the block, eating healthy all day, then going to the gym and bashing out like 10 exercises. If I only do it for that one day and then I end up going back into an unhealthy life the next day. It's about doing what you can do every day. You know, you are what you do every day, not what you can manage to do once and then, you know, fall off the wagon. So yeah, for any of you guys out there just, you know, messaging me, asking me for advice, I know that especially through social media, like the messages just get lost because I get so many people messaging me every day, you know, people that watch my other channel, which follows my life with my cars, and you guys that watch this channel. I probably need to set up some social media accounts just for the on-track stuff, to be honest. But yeah, in general, messages just get lost and I don't get to reply to everyone. But if you want one piece of advice that's going to improve your life, your mental health, it is focus on your physical health. Eat healthy, exercise, drink loads of water, be kind to people, just focus on being the best person you can be every day, and it does only take little steps, change little things in your life every single day. And then, once things get really comfortable and it's just like not even a mission anymore, doing 10 press-ups a day, say, then, do 10 sit-ups as well, or do 20 press-ups, add things to it slowly. Because when you overwhelm yourself with massive change, it's another reason for your mind to come in and persuade you that, this isn't right for you. Whereas if you just subtly change, make your life more and more and more healthy, you'll find that your mental state is more and more healthy, and it will improve your life massively. It's not easy, I've said loads of times on the channel before, easy for me is continuing to live unhealthily, continuing to sniff cocaine every time I get the opportunity, continuing to get drunk every time I get the opportunity. That is easy. What I'm doing now is hard, but it is a million times more rewarding. And yeah, I just want to bang on about this as much as I can to people, because there's a lot of people out there suffering, and everything I do that improves my life, I've just learned on the internet. So, it's only right that I basically share what I know on the internet with other people. Now, as I've already mentioned, I want to sort of give you a comparison of what I did last year on my birthday and what I did this year on my birthday. And I should warn you, if there's anyone out there that is really triggered by hearing stories about drug taking, I am going to be mentioning taking drugs in this video. So maybe this isn't the video for you, but last year, about a month before my birthday, I went on a trip to Northern Ireland to meet up with a friend of mine, who's into old cars and stuff. And, he took me around and we made loads of videos. And, this was a period of my life where, I had decided to give up alcohol, So as far as my girlfriend was aware, I was not drinking. We'd go down to her parents and, everyone would be drinking. I was saying no. For a while, I had not been drinking. In reality, of course, every month when she did her night shift, I was getting on it. I was going out drinking, sniffing cocaine at home on my own, walking around the streets until stupid o'clock at night. A lot of the times just about getting home in time for her to walk through the door after doing her night shift, me laying in bed, her assuming that I'd been asleep all night, whereas reality, sometimes I'd only been in bed 15 minutes before she walked in. And me sort of getting up as soon as she got into bed, making the excuse that I don't want to keep her awake, or make the excuse that I had things to do, when in reality I'm just buzzing out my nut and I needed to get into the front room because she's just going to be able to tell that I'm there, the boiling hot and twitching and my heart's beating fast. So yeah, in reality I was a mess, but as far as she was aware, I was going through one of these phases where I admitted that I wasn't able to drink, and etc, and I was not drinking. Anyway, so a month-ish after I get back from this Northern Ireland trip, it's my birthday, and then she'd sort of planned this day where we were going to go into our local town and go to this place where they do have a bar and stuff, but they do also sell food, and they have like loads of different games. Like they had like axe throwing, which we didn't do. Obviously had pool tables and table tennis and stuff like that, and just these weird sort of puzzle things that you can do. So yeah, really cool sort of trendy sort of bar place, but with loads of stuff to do. There's also a really cool like golf putting place just opposite there, which we've been to before. So yeah, those kind of places where they do serve drink, they do serve food, but it's there's activities to do as well. And as far as she was concerned, we weren't drinking because I was not drinking at the time. Now her parents and her brother came round as they do on our birthdays and stuff, and we had cake and whatnot. And I sort of decided that I was having some Guinness. I'd sort of made the excuse to my girlfriend that, it's my birthday, I should be allowed to have a drink on my birthday. I've been so good, not drinking all this time. Although I did admit to her actually that I drank while I was in Northern Ireland, but I didn't. She didn't know how bad it was. I was literally every evening I was doing 10-15 pints of Guinness. But anyway, so I sort of decided that I was going to be drinking on my 37th birthday last year. Went to the off licence, got a Guinness, and then when her parents went, it was I've got the taste for it then, haven't I? So I'm going to get like a good few bottles of fruity cider and more Guinness. Sort of persuaded her to have a cider as well. And I specifically remember her saying, I'll never forget it, I remember it vividly, I specifically remember her looking at me and saying, I'm worried, like, because I was drinking, and me sort of just brushing it off. Oh, it's my birthday, we'll have a good time, blah, blah, blah. Now, this was a weekday and she had work the next day, so she definitely wasn't, on drinking anyway. But no, she obviously wasn't on drinking as well because of her worries for me drinking. Anyway, we went to this place, played a couple of the games. We had some food there, just got some like hot wings and chips or whatever it was, but had a good meal. I think we had some cocktails or whatever while we was there. And then, by then I'm like really up for drinking then, you know what I mean? And she wasn't, and I sort of persuaded her that we'd go to a pub. It was a weekday, so it wasn't really busy out or anything. But while we was in the pub, we could see that there was like loads of students in there and stuff. And it just so happened that it was student night in the nightclub in this town. Now, this nightclub, I've actually been to the student night quite a few times, while my girlfriend's on night shift, gone there secretly. I'm able to get in to this, they're not that strict on making sure you're a student. So, yeah, I sort of decided, right, I want to go to this student night. And, my girlfriend wasn't up for it at all, but, we kept drinking in the pub, and then I sort of persuaded her. She's just being really sportive. It's my birthday. She's just like compromising basically for my idiocy, like, which she's done a lot over the years, and we ended up going into this nightclub. I'm dancing around on my own like an idiot. She's just standing in the corner miserable, putting up with it for as long as she could. And if I step back a little bit, realistically, in the back of my mind, as soon as we'd like gone out, maybe even before, like when I started drinking at home, as soon as we'd gone out, I'm thinking, right, how can I get cocaine? Every time I'm going to the toilet in these places, I'm sort of like, like asking people, like, oh, can you get any gear? Like, and that's what it's like. Once I have a drink, like, the next thing is I want to get on the gear, like, and then, it's like, how am I going to get it? So certainly when we're in this nightclub, I'm like really like, right, someone's got to have some gear. And I have managed to get gear in that nightclub before when I've been in there at times when my girlfriend's on a night shift. But, I wasn't able to. And then, I could see that my girlfriend was wanting to be in this nightclub less and less and less. So then I had the idea of basically putting her in a cab and sending her home and then going back into the nightclub on my own. And this is something that I've done multiple times over the years as well. I just, I go out with my girlfriend, like even in the times when, we was both just drinking and stuff and my issues weren't so apparent to her, you could say. It'd be a thing I'd do. We'd go out together, but then it'd get to a point where we'd be like, right, how can I get rid of her? Like, and it's out of order. It really is. I'm just ultimately trying to get rid of her because then I can try and get drugs because, she doesn't take drugs and, she never has. So it's it's alien to her. There's no way I can sort of like get drugs in front of her. So anyway, last year on my birthday, I put her in a cab, sent her home, and then I went back into the nightclub. And then it was a mission. I was literally just asking everyone in the nightclub, like, yeah, can you get any gear? Can you get any gear? Can you get any gear? And I couldn't. Like, I couldn't get any. Like, maybe because it's a weekday, or maybe because it was late on in the night. But yeah, just I wasn't able to get any cocaine. And I'd almost given up. But I was outside in the sort of smoking area, and this was, if I remember rightly, this was at the point where you weren't able to go out and then come back in. But it was before they sort of shut the smoking area, because eventually they shut the smoking area so you can't even go out of there. But I got chatting to some people in the smoking area, and basically one of them made a phone call, and they had a guy local that was going to meet me a few streets away. And I basically sort of sneaked out of the smoking area. There was like a rope sort of barrier thing. Sneaked out of the smoking area, went and met this guy, got the cocaine. I must have sniffed half of it, like walking back to the club, just walking through the streets, scooping it up my nose like a moron. And then I sort of managed to smuggle myself back into the smoking area. As I say, it was just, like a rope barrier, and you just sort of wait for the bouncers are there sort of roughly checking what's going on, but once they turn their back, you just sort of jump back in. And then I got myself back into the club. Eventually they shut the smoking area, so everyone's sort of trapped inside, and it was just a case of going backwards and forwards to the toilets, sniffing cocaine, drinking stupid amounts of drink, like ordering, when I'm on it, I'll just keep ordering drinks. Like, it's not far-fetched for me to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Like, a lot of the time I'll be queuing up in the nightclub, and it's like I can't bother to queue, so I'll just like tap on the shoulder of someone at the front. It's like, yeah, I'll buy your round, just get me 4 beers or whatever. Like, so yeah, it's just ridiculous. I've got no control, like, over spending money, over anything. But I can't really remember much more from that night. But seeing as it wasn't a night where my girlfriend was on night shift, on those nights I just end up walking the streets. I end up going on some mission, jumping in unknown amounts of cabs and getting them to drop me off in whatever town comes to mind. But because she was not on a night shift, it was probably one of the nights where I had to phone her up and get her to pick me up. And I think that's what happened that night. But I do remember she had work the next day, so it's just all unacceptable behaviour, innit? And she shouldn't have to put up with it. And yeah, that was my birthday last year. Then I would have woken up the next day full of regret, on a come down. Would have probably had 3 to 5 days of being depressed, and then would have picked myself back up, only to just probably get on it the next time she did night shift. So not ideal. Like back in the day, that would be like an ideal birthday, but where I'm at now, it's pathetic. It's degenerate, unacceptable, childish behaviour. Putting my girlfriend through that, putting myself through that. I would have spent untold money, would have ruined my girlfriend's evening or week, or she probably still thinks about it now. That night, among all the other nights that I've let her down. And it's just unacceptable. And I'm grateful that this year, yesterday, on my 38th birthday, I didn't have a day like that. I didn't have a night like that. My girlfriend's mum came round because my girlfriend's dad is actually in Italy at the moment. Her brother was working, so it was just her mum that came round. We had some cake. Her mum bought me some boxing shoes, which is awesome. As I've mentioned on this channel, I've been doing boxing recently. And yeah, had a cup of coffee, had some cake. Eventually her mum went, and then me and my girlfriend went out and we did a bit of shopping, normal stuff. I did plan to go to the gym yesterday, even though it was my birthday, but we didn't have time. And then my girlfriend took me out to a place called Al Vaquero, which is like a restaurant where they just do it's like barbecue meat, but loads of different types of meat, loads of different types of steak, like loads of different flavours of chicken, and they literally bring it round to your table, and you've got like a little card, like red and green, and when you're full up or you want to have a rest, you have it on red, and they don't come round to you. And then when you want more, you just have it on green, and they just keep bringing the meat round. For instance, they'll come around and say, oh, this is whatever flavoured steak, do you want this? And you just say yes or no. And yeah, basically you just go there and get stuffed with meat. Like, they have like a salad cart as well. But yeah, whenever we go to this place, you just overeat, basically, like just indulge in meat. And it was a great evening. Obviously stayed sober. My girlfriend stayed sober. She's not an alcoholic. She doesn't need to stay sober, but she doesn't need to drink either. Which makes it even more ridiculous that she should put up with an idiot like me when I am, feeling like I need to get absolutely wasted. But yeah, yesterday was an awesome birthday. Really, really enjoyed myself. I woke up today with a stomachache, and I felt a bit sick, to be honest, but I had overeaten, but I wasn't hungover. I've got no regrets. I'm not spending the whole of today thinking like how bad I am and how my girlfriend doesn't deserve to be with me. I'm not going to spend the next 3 to 5 days, on a come down, like trying to put myself back together, So yeah, I'm really, really, really grateful that, I didn't get wasted. But, as time goes on, as I'm living this healthy life, like every day is hard. Every day my mind tells me to not do this, not do that, not go for my walk, not have my cold shower, not do my exercise. Like, it is a battle. Like, and as I've already mentioned, like it would be a lot easier to live a waste man life like most people in this world, like when you look around, like, which makes it worse because it's like so socially accepted to eat crap every day, like, and drink alcohol every weekend, like poison your body, like, and the stuff you watch on the TV is so negative, like, and the internet is full of videos of people being horrible to each other, like, so it's so easy just to be a waste man. And I'm just so grateful, I don't want to say proud, I'm just so grateful that for the last 141 days I have been living a way healthier life. I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, I want to get better and better and better every day. And this is why I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's not about being Superman, like once. It's about making subtle changes every day to improve your health, improve your physical health. When you improve your physical health, that will improve your mental health. Look at improving your spiritual health as well. Look at meditation, look at living in the present moment, being nice to people, being grateful for the life you live. Like, all these things are way, way better than going out and getting smashed. Although I'm not going to pretend that going out and getting smashed isn't great. It is great. That's why we love it. But it's everything that comes with it, all the downs that come with it. When I get out of a cold shower and then 10 minutes later I feel like euphoric and buzzing and positive and like I can't stop talking, like literally buzzing. I haven't then got to have a week come down after it. There's no downside. When you're proper picking yourself up in positive ways, there's no downside. You're not hurting other people, you're not causing yourself to have a come down afterwards. You're keeping yourself on a level, like, and it's happiness that you deserve because you're achieving it in the right way rather than the wrong way by taking drugs and being a waste man degenerate. So look, if any of you guys are coming up to your birthdays or events like weddings or whatever, and deep down that you need to not get drunk, you need to not indulge in those things, that need to keep yourself healthy is way more important than any event. Like, don't go to the event if you feel like you're going to go there and be bored, or you're going to go there and be tempted. Make your health the most important thing in your life, because it affects everything. Accept the fact that 99.9% of people on this world are wasters. I don't care if you're the kind of person that goes out every week, works hard, and then at the weekend, just has one binge a week. Like, you're escaping from your life. Like, if you're poisoning your body in any way, it's because you're trying to escape from your life and you're not happy. But, it's not my place to tell everyone to stop drinking. Like, I don't need to, I don't care. Like, I'm only interested in me because I'm the most important person in my life. But what I do know for a fact is that a lot of the people out there that think they don't have a problem actually do. And then there's a lot of people out there that deep down know they have a problem but feel that they can't or won't change. And they're the people that I'm trying to encourage, like, because there is a better life out there for you, but it's hard, but it's so worth all the effort. And for me, it just revolves around me turning myself into the most healthy person that I can. I'm not doing healthy stuff, I'm being a healthy man. And that is, in my opinion, the key to happiness, the key to overcoming any mental issues, and the key to staying clean, staying away from drink and staying away from drugs. So look, I hope this story has resonated with some of you. As always, do put any comments you have down below, and if there's anything in particular that you'd like me to make a video about, don't hesitate to put that in the comments as well, or get in touch with me directly. But yeah, other than that, massive thanks to each and every one of you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.